What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another fantasy football video. I promise this time, the audio, look at this. Okay, so last time, it was desktop audio down here, plus mic, plus I had a headset in, and I was picking up some audio. My goodness, it sounded really bad, but this time, oh, I almost exited. I'm a screw up. And my internet also almost didn't let me into this one, but we're recording the audio fine. We got a full lobby. I posted it in the chat. So if you guys want to do these mock drafts, I'm not doing it on Twitter anymore. If you want to do these mock drafts, get into the chat because I'm posting whatever lobby I'm in. Hopefully they fill up. But if, like happened on one of the previous ones, if people just start taking random players in like the first 2 rounds and stuff and just like screwing with the ADPs, then I'm not going to post it. Like I can't be doing these mock drafts where like a kicker's going in the 2nd round. So we'll see what happens on this one. I'm going to have to upload this one anyways because I have to go to work after this until tonight, and then it has to be uploaded in the morning. So I swear to God, if Tim Tebow actually goes first. So PPR league, this is 12 team. This is the format that I suggest. Some people ask me sometimes like what format PPR is standard, what the league size is. I suggest 12 team PPR. If you're first starting out, I don't know. I just like that setting. David Johnson, Bell, Zeke. We've seen it before. David Johnson, Bell, Zeke, Brown. Basically how it's always been going. I wanted to pick 5 because I've yet to pick Julio or Odell in these mock drafts. But the pick for me in PPR is Julio Jones. I think that regression will happen for the offense, but I almost think that helps him because there were a lot of weeks they didn't need him. And they said they'd put him into the game if they needed him, but they didn't need him. So they took him out of games because he always has that stupid like turf toe and toe sprains, whatever you want to call it. He seems to always have that. So, again, like I posted the video last week, RB0 strategy. It's a strategy, RB0 strategy. A strategy is a strategy is a strategy. You don't got to use it every time. A lot of you have been messaging me, like, what happened to RB0? Well, I've done a lot of drafts at, like, 1, 2, 3. I've got one at, like, 7, where I like to pick McCoy kind of around the range, like 7, 8 range. It's strategy. I might use it this time, having used it last week. It depends who's available at 20. If Devonta Freeman's at 20, I'm going to take Devonta Freeman because that's insane value. Jordan Howard's available at 20, I'm going to take Jordan Howard. But I'm not going to reach for like Lamar Miller. Like say Lamar Miller is the only person available. That's what gets me. Lamar Miller will be the only person available here. And someone will reach on him, the only running back available. Someone will reach on him because they're like, oh, I have to get a running back in the first 2 rounds. No, you don't. You do not have to get a running back in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. You don't have to do anything. No one's forcing you to do anything. Like, I don't get it. Yes, it's important to hit on a running back more in standard. It's more important to hit on a running back in standard scoring than in PPR scoring. But you can hit on a running back late. It's not super difficult to hit on a running back late. Yes, it's hard, but you can get points out of running backs late. You don't have to reach. I don't think Ajayi is a reach at 20. I think that's fine. Howard would be beautiful, but he's not going to fall. Doug Baldwin actually just went, and I've been requested, like I've been saying, to say the picks. I'll say after me. So I already told you what happened to me at Julio. Odell, then AJ Green, then Mike Evans, then Jordy, then McCoy. That's good value for McCoy, and that's basically who's been going in all of these drafts, 1 through 10. Then Michael Thomas and Freeman rounded out the first round. Second round, DeMarco Murray, Melvin Gordon, T.Y. Hilton, and Doug Baldwin. Then Amari Cooper just went at 17. So there's 2 picks until me. I'll take Jordan Howard. If he's gone, I'm not going to take Gronk. I would think about Dez. Dez has a really difficult schedule, but he's Dez Bryant. And although I think that Elliott's a great pick because they're going to lean on him, I do still think they can support 2 fantasy players. Like you can have Bell and Brown like both be viable. You can have Zeke and Dez both be viable. It's not like you can't be viable. It's that it's a tough schedule and he's been injury prone. So Dez just went. I would love Jordan Howard here if he actually did fall. Dang, this is not. Yeah, that's not ideal because I would have loved Howard. I'm not gonna take Gronk. I'm not taking Lamar Miller. It's a reach for everyone else in my opinion. So I guess Ajayi, we just bank on. Look at just a pause for a second. Look at 2016 season. 1272 and 8 touchdowns. 2017 projection. 1272 and 8 touchdowns. You really went bold with the prediction there, ESPN. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't want to reach on a wide receiver. I think Ajayi. I haven't talked about Ajayi much. If he stays healthy, who's going to challenge him? Name one player who's challenging Jay Ajayi for touches. Is he injury prone? He's an injury risk. I'll put it that way because of his knees. I wouldn't call him like super injury prone. I don't have the exact injury history for him. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Jay Ajayi injury history. Hopefully they have it. Yeah, Sports Break. This is a site I use. If you guys are looking for injury risk stuff, I use this and then just go down. Yeah, he only missed some preseason time. I remember the ribs. He started the year. He didn't start 2 years ago. That's when Arian Foster was a thing. Or was that last year with Arian Foster? I don't remember. But 2 years ago, he started with like the ribs in preseason. I don't remember if he started. I think he was a healthy scratch. That's what it was. Ajayi was like a healthy scratch to start last year, and then they realized that Arian Foster was super injury prone. But Gronk went after Ajayi, and then it was Todd Gurley, Demarius. Gronk is a good third round pick. I think the risk is too high in the second round. Yeah, I would say if Gronk ends up being great, that was a good second round pick. But I think it's a little risky there. I expect Miller to fall. And Lynch is also Lynch. It went Fournette then Lynch. I'm not touching Fournette at the end of the second, early third round. We saw with it's not like Chris Ivory's a bad running back. I mean, he's not Fournette. Like he's an average running back, but their offensive line stunk last year. They didn't really address it much. I think that it's pretty wishful thinking he is okay. Talent wise, him and Zeke are probably similar, but that's why fit is so important. Because like look at Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is probably on par, if not better, than Ezekiel Elliott, talent wise. But he's on the Rams. So he doesn't even have a chance. Like if they both stay healthy, he doesn't have a chance to post Ezekiel Elliott numbers. But it's not that he's bad, it's just landing spot. Like landing spot for Fournette, that is not an ideal landing spot right now. In the future, if you're in dynasty leagues and stuff, yeah, they could be good in the future. But right now, that's a risk. I don't touch Jordan Reed ever. I'm not touching Cooks in the third round. I mean, Watkins has top 5 ceiling. Like if I want to go oh my risk. Like the risk of this team, if you went Ajayi, Julio, Watkins, they could all finish top 5 for their position. But honestly, I can't go Keenan Allen. That's a reach on Tate. Dang, I would have liked Landry too. Allen Robinson, I would probably pick Allen Robinson, even though, yeah, I would probably pick Allen Robinson here. It's risky. Believe me, this is not an ideal team so far, but Allen Robinson is going to be part of the offense. I don't love the pick. I would have way rather had Hopkins or Landry, who went right before it. If Larry Fitz went after that, there's no real upside at that in the third round. Not starting off. Like, this team has upside. I mean, Allen Robinson can be easily a wide receiver 1. Julio could easily be the number 1 wide receiver. Ajayi can finish top 5 if he stays healthy. And he's not even that much. They're going to feed him. Ajayi, if he plays 16 games, will have... You can't predict touchdowns, but he'll have somewhere between 7 and 10 touchdowns. Or 7 plus, I'll say. 7 plus touchdowns and 1,100 plus yards. I can guarantee 16 games at him is 1,100 and 7 plus touchdowns, which would be a good pick in the late second round. That would be a 1. That'd be a running back 1. So that's not a bad pick. I would pick a safer running back though. If we're gonna go Ajayi, we need safe picks. With this 44 pick, after me was Miller, McCaffrey, Golden Tate, Keenan Allen, Cooks, Reed, Watkins. Watkins fell. That's good value for Watkins there. Then Ingram. We need just a safe pick. So Crabtree is a safe pick. I don't think Devontae Adams or Crowell is a safe pick at 44. Thanks for taking Crowell. Crowder's a safe pick at 53. I would love, like you guys have heard it before, I would love to go Crowder Diggs with the 2 after this. Crabtree. I'd like to go Crabtree Diggs. I know I'm filling up my bench, but I'd like to go Crabtree Diggs here. Because I see a drop-off for Edelman. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about. That came up in the chat. Is Edelman risky? Yeah. But he was going in the 3rd. Now he's going a little later. I would say it's not a super risk taking Edelman in the 4th. Just know that Cooks, I think, is the replacement for Edelman, just not this year. I think it's next year. I think that his contract's over after this year, and so I think he's a replacement in the future. Maybe they give him like a short contract because he's like, I mean, he probably just wants to stay in New England. Give him like not a ton of money or anything, but I think that like we phase into that. Like we don't just start off week 1, it's Cooks. I mean, there's not that much of a target share for Cooks, which is why, like, look at all the weapons on their offense, like Gronk, Edelman, Cooks, Hogan, Mitchell, Allen, Amendola. That's just the receiving, and then you got receiving backs out of the backfield. Plus, they're probably going to try and shift a little bit more towards the ground game just to take a little bit off Brady, because they know if they stay healthy, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's, if everyone's healthy to start the year, or to finish the year that started the year, they win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just going to happen. So they know that they don't need to play Gronk a ton. They don't need Edelman to go out there and post 10 for 100 every game. If they can have Gillislee and Burkhead pound the rock a little bit, not a ton, they're not just going to all of a sudden be a running team, but you can pound the rock. So after me, Carlos Hyde, Emmanuel Sanders, Bly Powell, and Brady. A little early for Brady. Early 5th, or was that late 4th? That was the last pick? Either last pick of the 4th or first pick of the 5th. Marshall, yeah, I mean Crowder and Diggs are the 2 guys I would take here. Olsen's not bad value here. You can take Olsen in the 5th round. I don't like taking Mixon, that's a good pick there. But I don't mind taking Olsen and Kelsey, 2 mid-round guys. Like I would rather take this Olsen pick there that guy just did over a Gronk pick, and I wouldn't touch Breeze this early. So now we have to choose between Crowder and Diggs. For me, it's Diggs. We'll look at the running backs, but I mean, look at this range. It'd be Dalvin Cook or Gillislee. Might be able to get Gillislee with the next pick. Abdullah, Perkins. That's really all I see. But the picks, Diggs or Crowder. And I have Diggs slightly ahead of Crowder. Oh, I love both the picks. Don't get me wrong. Like I would have loved to have both of them if I was picking a little bit more towards the turn and one of them fell. Like I would have taken Crowder and then hoped that Diggs fell. But I knew both of them weren't going to be there at the next pick, so I got to take the guy I like more. And it's Diggs. So wide receivers. This is a good wide receiving team. Julio, Allen Robinson, Crabtree, and Diggs. Allen Robinson's a bit of a risk. Julio's a risk in that, like, slight more injury risk than you want in the first round. Obviously, it's just the upside that I'm trying to take there. And it's the week-to-week consistency, which is why I grabbed Diggs and Crabtree, who I think are going to be very consistent options week-to-week. Diggs also is an injury risk, if you didn't know. Although, he's just really young. And he said that it's from not being like 100% shape kind of thing, like taking for granted that he's in the NFL. I'm not taking for granted he's in the NFL, but like taking for granted that he's like a really good athlete and not preparing as much over the offseason. That's kind of like what he was saying. So I think he went hard this offseason. I think he's a real breakout candidate. Tyreek Hill went after Diggs. Yeah, he's probably gonna be going in the 4th round, to be honest. He might climb more. He's a good pick in the 5th. I mean, better than he's probably the same pick in standard and PPR. The touchdown's going to regress, but he's going to be getting punt returns. He's going to be getting carries in the backfield. He's going to feed him the ball, so the touchdowns are going to be there. Woodhead, that's way too early for Woodhead and Pierre Garçon. So it was Tyreek Hill, Crowder, Spencer Ware, Coleman, Gore, Montgomery. Yeah, this is going way too fast. Gillislee's the pick if he's there for me. Anderson, they said it could be a committee to start the year, so I'm not touching that. Ooh, quarterbacks flying off the board. Luck, Wilson. Dalvin Cook isn't a bad pick. I think they're going to feed him. Decker, he didn't go anywhere yet, right? I don't think he's on a team yet. I predict he's going to the Ravens. But yeah, I got to lock up another running back. Although I liked some of the wide receivers in this range. It's Dalvin Cook or it's Gillislee. You guys have heard me say it's not that I think Gillislee is going to get like 250 carries or anything. I mean, Blount got a lot of carries last year because he had a lot in the beginning. The first 4 games without Brady. Or was it 3? It doesn't matter. First couple games without Brady, he got a lot of carries because, I mean, we had like Jacoby Brissett was playing a game and we still won. But it was also he didn't fumble. There wasn't really another option that we had that was like a big guy that could like carry a workload. And then once Dion Lewis started fumbling, like if you fumble, that's the thing. If you fumble for the Patriots, goodbye. I mean, do you guys remember Stephen Ridley? Remember that? I mean, the guy was posting monster numbers and then he started fumbling and they didn't play. So I think as long as Gillislee can hold on to the ball, he's going to be the red zone guy, which means 20 touchdown upside. I'm not saying he's going to get 20 touchdowns, but I'm saying I can project double-digit touchdowns easy. He's one of the best red zone, or one of the best goal line backs in the league. Love Gillislee. Even if he gets 180 carries, and doesn't turn that into 1,000 yards, okay? Which, yeah, he probably wouldn't at 180 carries unless he posts a couple like monster runs. But if he gets 13 to 14 touchdowns, I mean, he can be the Blount. He can be the Blount of this year. You guys heard me say Blunt's not that good. I think Gillislee's a better running back than Blount by a lot. So if they gave him the ball as much as Blount, oh my God, he's easily an RB1. But I don't think they will. I think he's going to get the ball around 200 times, like roughly. I think Blount was a lot more than that. So it's just the goal line. Like he's going to be getting me a ton of touchdowns. So if I can have him and Ajayi with Julio, Robinson, Crabtree, Diggs, I want to pick the best player. I don't need a running back. But if it's a tie, I'm going running back. So I'll sort by flex because you guys know I'm not taking a quarterback here. I don't want to sort by flex. I'm going to sort by running back. So the best running backs are Anderson, Lacey, Abdullah, Kelly, Procise, James White. Yeah, there's not good running backs. I don't know. These guys are going to fall, some of these guys in this range. But the pick would be Abdullah. In that range, it's Abdullah. I want P. Ryan with the next pick. P. Ryan's climbing. Yeah. I'll go Abdullah here because I don't really like... I'm going to make sure I get him. I'll go Abdullah there. He's got upside. If he stays healthy and they give him the ball, I mean, they didn't really bring anyone in. It's him. It's like Dwayne Washington. I'm not really sure if he's still there. It's Tate and it's Zach Zenner, who I like Zach Zenner. I just like him. But the Lions aren't going to give Zach Zenner the ball over Abdullah. Like, if Abdullah's healthy, he's going to be the guy. So I think he's a good pick. No one's really talking about him right now. But the wide receiver picks just didn't excite me. I'm not drafting Dante Moncrief, especially in a PPR league. Matthews, like, he might be good to start the year, but I think at the end, Corey Davis takes over. I'm not touching Kelvin Benjamin. You can't draft Deshaun Jackson in PPR. Jordan Matthews is a fine pick. He's fine. Thielen, I can't draft because I have Diggs. I'm not going to just lock up the backfield or the wide receivers in the Vikings. Meredith's not a bad pick. Coleman's not a bad pick. Mike Williams suffered a setback. John Brown suffered a setback, unfortunately. You guys know I'm high on him. So not a ton of great wide receiver options. We're targeting Doxson late. We're targeting Marquise Lee super late if we need another wide receiver. But there aren't a ton of wide receivers left. So we need one more good one who will probably take in this next pick. This next pick, if P. Ryan's there, will probably take... Oh, comment section. Oh, dang it. I don't remember the other. I keep saying Samaje Perine. I heard someone say Perrine? Perrine, was it? Tell me. Say, one will be Perine, or just say I'm saying it right. Two will be Perrine. Tell me if I'm saying it wrong. I don't actually know. I didn't, like, watch him in college. I guess I could look up, like, a commentary of him in college, but I think it's Perrine. I mean, I pronounce things wrong, so whatever. But I think it's Perrine. Regardless, he's good. So is he still on the board? He's still on the board. We'll find him and then we'll go to the... Where's Samaje? He's got a lot. He's going to 121. We can get him at 9th. I think that's what we'll do. 9th round, we'll grab Perrine. Because there are other running backs I like. It's just I like him the most. Corey Davis, Cameron Meredith, Corey Coleman, or Britt is who I'm looking at for this next pick. What do we want? Do we want ceiling or floor? We've got Julio, Allen Robinson, Crabtree, and Diggs. We can take whatever. So I have it narrowed down to Corey Davis and Meredith. I'd say just because I think Corey Davis is getting hyped up a little bit because it's a great landing spot for him. Just you're asking a lot from a rookie. I think Meredith's going to get a lot of balls. We're going to take Meredith, and we're going to hope Perine's there with the next pick. Maybe take Doxson in the 10th. Because I just like having one piece from the Redskins. I just think it's smart. I mean, Cousins has to throw to someone. And it's like, it's Crowder, it's Pryor, and it's Doxson for me. If he can stay healthy. If he suffers another setback in preseason, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm not taking him because I think he's great. I think he's a really, really, really talented wide receiver. Stay healthy, my God. Stretch or something. Like, she's a crow. He suffers a setback every 30 minutes. Is he still on the board? I haven't seen. AP. Interesting. It's an interesting case for AP. I still haven't decided. Because if he gets the goal line carries, we turn that into not a blunt scenario to the same degree, but we turn that into a potential double-digit touchdown upside in the 9th. That's not a bad pick. Picking AP. Robert Kelly. Can you guys stop picking Robert Kelly? Like, you're picking Robert Kelly over the guy who's going to overtake him. I don't know. It's way too risky. I would say maybe wait until the next round for Perrine. But, number one, these are people in the chat who I'm pretty sure watched the video about how much I like him. No way he lasts until 116 in my next pick. No way. Because I'd take him over all these guys. Look at the guys ahead of him. James White. Seriously. James White. Like, I understand he was the hero in the Super Bowl, but James White. Forte is getting replaced. Sproles. Honestly, Sproles. Bernard, no. Duke Johnson's not a bad pick. Stewart's not a bad pick. Dixon, I'll just take him now. Dixon isn't a bad pick. No, he's not a bad pick. He just has a really low floor. Because you better have some options to start the year if you're going to pick Dixon and Doug Martin. Because they're suspended for 4 games. And remember last year when we were like, oh, Dixon's going to come in after, I think he had like a knee injury, a knee sprain or something like that. He's going to come in. He's just going to take over. And he couldn't even take over Terrence West, who blows. So what's to say he takes over this year? I think he's good, and I think he's the future of that team. But you can't take over Terrence West. Like, come on. He can't be that good. The quarterbacks are going. I should look at who the quarterbacks are right now. Derek Carr, I want to hear how he's doing. I haven't looked that up yet. What was it? Was he broke his leg? Sorry that I don't know. I'm pretty sure he broke the leg. It was a leg injury or a knee injury or something. It was an injury last year, but I think he's gonna be fine. If he is, this is good value for him. Big Ben, I mean, I understand not wanting to own Big Ben because of the always being hurt and terrible on the road, but you're gonna get a QB top 8 when he's at home. I mean, he's gonna throw for 303 touchdowns when he's at home. So, but I'd rather have Winston. I'll take Tyrod Taylor. Mariota, a lot of people like. Ease up a little bit there because I don't know how fast he's gonna recover from his injury. But a lot of these guys are the same, so I don't need to take one here. I definitely said I was gonna draft someone. I forget who. I like Kareem Hunt. That's the only guy I would draft in this range. So, oh, good. Doxson's still there. Let's look at the news. See if he got hurt again. Precaution. No setback. Okay. That's the same news I read last time. So we have a good pick. Whoever he takes. Lat. Don't touch Lat. Come on. Yeah, we're gonna take Doxson. That'll be our 6th wide receiver, and we'll have to take a running back next. If Kareem Hunt is there, then that's good. Because I think Kareem Hunt, watch the breakout, or the, I'm even messing it up. Not the breakout video. The top 5 late round flyer video. He's gonna split with Ware to start. It's that his upside isn't huge, because even if Ware goes down, they just don't give a guy 25 carries. Like, they just don't. Even when they had Jamal Charles, they just don't feed anyone. So thinking that he has upside of like an RB1 to just get fed over and over, like, that's just not going to happen. He's a good pass catcher, which is why PPR league, he's a good pick. Yeah, he just went to pick after me. Good pick. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 running backs. We need another running back. No. I don't want any of these guys. It's Jamal Williams. It's Joe Williams. It's Donta Foreman. Marlon Mack. It's probably Marlon Mack. Yeah. The pick's probably Marlon Mack there. What's the news? I don't rely on this for the news, but made a positive impression. Yeah. It's Camp Talk. Don't trust Camp Talk. Could we get Marlon Mack at 140? Who are the tight ends? Hunter Henry. I like Henry. I like Ebron. Then there's a drop. Maybe we'll take one of them. How about we take Hunter Henry or Ebron here, and we hope that Marlon Mack's available in the 12th. Because O.J. Howard, you're drafting O.J. Howard ahead of Hunter Henry and Ebron. O.J. Howard needs to have the best season ever for a rookie tight end to return value. To return value, he needs the best season ever. Seriously? For me, it's Ebron over Henry. I do have Abdullah. He's on the bench. That doesn't really matter. They're like the same player to me. I think Henry has more upside in the long term. But especially with that tough passing schedule to start, he might be on waivers. Even though he's a big name, he could be dropped to waivers come like week 3, week 4. So I'm going to hold off. I'll take Ebron over Henry. Henry got taken like really closely after. Yeah, we obviously, you don't draft 2 tight ends and you don't draft 2 quarterbacks in a 1 quarterback league. That's like the rule. That's the biggest waste. You guys have heard me say before, the biggest waste of a pick is drafting 2 quarterbacks in a 1 quarterback league. There is no bigger waste. It is the dumbest thing you can do. What do you guys think? Say in the comments section below, would you rather have Jamal Williams, Joe Williams, or Marlon Mack? PPR league. I think standard, it's probably Jamal Williams for upside purposes. I think Joe Williams is like a good pick, but the issue is, so here's what he has going for him. He was picked by that new regime. The new people in town picked him, and have no ties to Hyde, and I think Hyde could be done after this year. I'm not sure about his contract. I think he might be done after this year. So they want Joe Williams to be a good pick. And Hyde never stays healthy. The issue is he's not a good pass catcher. It's not like he's super young. I mean, he's 24. Remember, he retired after his sister died in college. He like took a little like retirement from football and then he came back. So he's a 24-year-old rookie. So he's not like as young as some of these other guys are, and that's not like a huge deal or anything. It's just don't think he's 22. But I just, without the receptions on the 49ers, I just don't see the upside. Like I don't see it. Whereas Marlon Mack, I see Gore goes down, I see 3 down back. I see very similar to Kareem Hunt in my eyes, very similar because he's gonna be he's gonna split. My opinion, gonna split with Gore to start. Maybe it's more like a 55-45, like a 60-40, but he's gonna get some carries and it's more touches. I think the touches will be split because he's gonna get the PPR. And remember, we saw like last year, I don't remember who it was. Whoever the scrubs were, like Ferguson or something, they were getting dump-offs last year. There were games where like Ferguson had a bunch of catches and was like winning people money in DraftKings. You don't think they're going to dump it to Marlon Mack? He's better than Ferguson and all those other scrubs they were dumping it off to last year. So I think Mack can get a good amount of receptions. And if Gore goes down, which, listen, Gore's always healthy, but he's 34, I think Mack's a good pick. And you guys, I mean, I've taken the late round flyers pretty similar in all these leagues. Like P. Ryan, Mack, Jamal Williams, Kareem Hunt. Those are my guys. Love Diggs. Abdullah's not being talked about. So this is a good bench. Meredith was on the top 5 breakouts. Was he? I think he was. I don't remember. But I think he was. But I like him. Love Diggs, though. Diggs, if you ask me right now who my favorite picks are, it's Mixon, it's Diggs, it's Crowder, it's Pirine, one more. I'm not going to take like a first rounder because obviously those guys are good. Like Gillislee, but I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite picks. Doxson. Yeah. Favorite 5 picks right now. In no particular order, although Diggs is number 1. I'm going to do an order. You convinced me. Diggs number 1, Mixon number 2, Crowder 3, Pirine 4, Doxson 5. Pirine and Doxson very close. But that's what I have. It's already my pick. What do we need? We have Ajayi, Gillislee, Pirine, Mack, Abdullah. We have 5. Can I count? I can count. We have 5 running backs. We'll just take another. We'll take another shot at a running back because that's what you got to do late. Or should we take a quarterback at some point in this draft? Yeah, we'll take quarterback. See, I'll take Tyrod Taylor. It's Tyrod or it's Dalton. We'll go Tyrod. Listen, that's why I take guys late because I had the choice between Tyrod, could have taken Eli, not pumped about, but Dalton. Dalton's being undervalued too. I could have taken Dalton. I wouldn't touch Bortles. Mariota, and this is also a really good thing if you're taking quarterbacks late. If news comes out of camp that Mariota's like good to go and he's looking great, his ADP is going to go up and you're going to have another person you can take late. So I just took a quarterback in the middle of the 13th round and I'm fine with it. I mean, what did Tyrod Taylor even finish as last year? I don't remember, but let's find out. Yes, I have a lot of things saved on my computer. 8. Tyrod Taylor was quarterback 8 last year. Okay. Cool with me? Did they lose Robert Woods? Yeah, but he did a lot of that without Sammy Watkins. So, like that says everything. No one respects Tyrod Taylor and no one respects Andy Dalton. It's just every year, no one respects him. Marquise Lee was a good pick after me. So we'll run through the team. We need to think about a running back we want. We'll take best available. We have 6 and 5. No, we're going to take a running back. I lied. But Tyrod Taylor, Ajayi, Gillislee, Julio, Allen Robinson, Ebron, Crabtree, Diggs, Abdullah, Meredith, Samaje Perine, Josh Doxson, Marlon Mack. I like all those picks. Yeah, that's a good team, in my opinion. Now, I know you guys just like have hate in your hearts, I think, and you just got to get it out somewhere. So you'll find a way to say that Julio Jones is a pathetic player and a horrible human being or something. You'll find a way to say that in the comment section. But I think those are good picks. Jamal Williams is still there. Joe Williams is still there. I don't even know who James Conner is. I was just looking if like someone way down here. So the pick for me right now is Jamal Williams. Rawls, no. Rawls isn't that good. That's why I actually kind of like, I'm starting to like Lacy a little bit more, because Rawls isn't that good. They brought in Lacy. He's hitting the weight requirements. JJ Nelson isn't a bad pick here. Devin Funchess is not a bad pick here as well. The pick would be Funchess. I'm just going to highlight his name real quick. Where'd he go? The pick here is Funchess or Jamal Williams. I need to look. I just have a lot of faith in my wide receivers. And it's nice to take. You know, no. Also, Foreman's not a bad pick. How fast was that, huh? Yeah, the picks I was thinking about there were Foreman, Jamal Williams, and Funchess. I think Funchess is a good pick late in drafts. I haven't really talked about him much. It's just that Calvin Benjamin isn't that good. Everyone hated on me last year for saying it, and now all of a sudden all the analysts are saying it this year. It's like, thanks. There will be zero recognition as well, because I believe I was one of the first people to tell you guys adamantly not to draft Cam Newton and Calvin Benjamin last year. I got a ton of hate. There will be zero, absolutely zero recognition that happened this year. There'll just be more hate over the not liking drafting, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Melvin Gordon. How I don't like drafting him early in the second round. And some people are like, I'll take him 5th overall. It's like, yeah, please be in my league. But that was just my rant for the day. Because I was all over Calvin Benjamin stinks last year. And you guys were down my throat halftime of week 1. And I was like, listen, he's not good. He got a touchdown. Congrats. A lot of people catch touchdowns sometimes. Amendola caught a touchdown last year. Is he good? I'm not hating on Amendola. It's just first name that came to my mind. I think Amendola's a good player. But kicker defense, last 2 rounds, like I've said in every single league, let's just make it consistent with the Falcons. Who would I actually pick? Eagles. Whatever, I'll just pick the Eagles. I've been picking the Falcons a lot just because, and again, I'm going to look at the schedules to start the year and tell you guys who has the best turnover-prone quarterbacks, like they're going against early. But the Eagles every year, criminally undervalued. I apologize to Eagles fans to have to endure the constant like disrespect at 258 for their defense. They have a good defense. Like, do people know that or not know that? Oh man, it was my pick. I didn't even know. I was just talking. Although, to be honest, I picked Santos in a lot of leagues. I have to sneeze soon. It's gonna come out. But yeah, whatever. We'll put them in like. See, told you. Eagles. Yeah, Giants are good. So Giants, Eagles, Falcons, Bucks. That's it. That's who I would take late. For all of you guys taking the Seahawks in like the 7th round, thank you for being part of my league and wasting your 7th round pick. But I believe that's it. I'm working on, for those of you who've asked, I'm working on the premium rankings right now. I'm through like 45, I think, for wide receivers, and don't get too excited. You're only going to see a little bit. I'm through like 40 to 45 range for running backs in PPR for both, but then it's easier to do standard because you just have to adjust a few things. So those will be out Uh, mid to late July. Mid to late July, it's still looking like. It's just, it is tough sometimes ranking that like 40 to 65 range just because they're so close. Like they're all just like, he could be good, but he probably will stink. But mid to late July, and then every week after that, there'll be a new update. If you want to learn more about that, check out the website. Also, if you want to get in the Facebook group, there's like 130 spots left. And then after that, you have to get membership to the site, because we're going to have 3 articles a week, plus you get the premium rankings, and you get into the Facebook group, which also, if you're still watching this, I know all of you are going to be posting your mock drafts come like the end of July into August. You guys will be like, rate my team. Listen, I'm not rating all of your teams. I will rate and not rate. Rate is a stupid word. I'm not going to be like, you got a C+. Like, what? No. I'll tell you what picks are good and what picks aren't good for your leagues and your drafts and everything in August if you're in the chat. But I'm not going through, rate my team. I'm not going through every single team in the comment section, because there's literally, like, I'm working 48 and a half hours next week at my job. And then I'm going to work 15 to 20 hours on this YouTube. You think I'm then going to go in and spend another, like, every comment when I rate teams takes like 10 to 15 minutes. So I don't have time to do all these things. I'll go, everyone who's in the chat, I will be looking at those comments. Sometimes I miss them because they just like get bounced when there's like a ton of comments in a row. But I'll be looking at the chat. I'm not going to be looking as much at the YouTube comment section. I will rate your team. Amen. I will rate your team. Breeze, solid. Hyde, don't enjoy that pick. So Hyde and Cook is risky for the wide receivers, or for the running backs. Love Brown, Landry, and PPR. If Gronk goes off, Brown, Landry, Gronk is insane. I don't like Anderson. Corey Davis is like a fine pick. Cobb's a fine pick. Kareem Hunt's a good pick. Kamara's a good pick actually in PPR. Foreman's a good pick. I'm not on the Quincy Enunwa. For all of you guys that say Quincy Enunwa is going to be like a 2 now, like what? What changed? Decker was hurt last year. What changed? Tell me what changed. Like, I think it's Robbie Anderson. If you guys want like a who's that last round pick in a 14-team league, Robbie Anderson. That was my boy. He won me some good money at the end of last year because I played him like, literally, I was so lucky, but I played him like the 3 weeks he was good last year in DraftKings. But I think Robbie Anderson overtakes Enunwa as a target-wise, because Enunwa's a tight end. Watch him play. He's a tight end. He's not a wide receiver. And he's not like that good. And they're tanking. They're not trying to win games. Like, they're not going to score very many points. So I would not have taken him. But it's not a bad team, because there's going to be weeks where Breeze goes 304 touchdowns, where Gronk gets 100 touchdown, where Brown goes off, where Landry has points, and you could get zeros from Hyde and Cook. And you did take some guys late, so that's good. And I think Steelers are also a good defense. I didn't mention them. That's a good defense. I'm not going to go through all these teams because I don't want to. But if you are still here, that's the team. I wouldn't say it's the best team I've drafted, but I just think there's such, like, for some reason I hate the middle rounds, or like I hate the 3rd round and 4th round, but I love like the middle and late rounds, because this bench, Diggs, Abdullah, Meredith, Pirine, Doxson, Mack, Jamal, I think that's a good bench. Do I think all the running backs going to work out? No, obviously not. But I think that of Jamal Williams, Marlon Mack, and Pirine and Abdullah, one of 4 of them, that's all you're looking for late. One of them I can start. And if I've already got Ajayi and Mixon, and I've got another one of those guys I can start, and I've got Julio and Robinson and Crabtree and Diggs, who I think I wouldn't say Crabtree has a chance at a wide receiver 1. Well, he does have a chance. I don't think he will. I think Diggs can be a wide receiver 1. Allen Robinson can be top 5. Julio could be 1. He could be number 1 overall. I think Ajayi has a big ceiling if he stays healthy. Gilsey has huge touchdown upside. That's a good team. I've convinced myself it's a good team. It's just not the best team I've drafted. But again, I've drafted better teams in a 10-team league. This is 12 teams. I think that's a good 12-team league. But I've said enough. This is like a 45-minute video. That is the end of this video. If you watched this far, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and thanks for watching.